So, with all this stuff going on in Iran right now and the uncertainty in the economy, I thought it would be a good idea to take a look at the charts and see what it's saying about oil prices. And with the Strait of Hormuz being strangled right now, there's a good chance that the price of oil could skyrocket. So I know the U.S. administration is doing everything it can to try to prevent that from happening, but there is no guarantee. So with that, I wanted to look at the charts and kind of see what is possible. What are the charts saying is possible for prices at the pump, and what could the price of a barrel of oil end up being? So what I did is first thing I did is I went back historically and I looked at the highest price of gas, which was in 2008. And you can see here the monthly average hit about $4.06 per gallon. And even weekly peaks reached around $4.11 to $4.17 by mid July. And this came from AAA and Gas Buddy. So now, obviously, we didn't have the inflation issues. So after the pandemic, we certainly ended up with these inflation issues. And that kind of presents a whole new problem. So, what are we looking at now? If the prices of gas would start to skyrocket, what are we actually looking at? So, as soon as all of this escalated, you can see the price. This is a monthly chart, so this is a monthly candle, and we are in the middle of this month, as it is March 15th. So, this candle actually, we'll zoom in here a little bit. You can see this was February. And then in March, the price of oil per barrel jumped. You had this gap, just jumped right up here. So it's in a hurry to go somewhere when you see a gap like that. And what did it do? It went right to the top here. Now, as a trader, traders look at stuff like this and they see, okay, so there's a liquidity pool up here. Price took that. Typically, what would happen is price would pull back, which it did. And then the next thing you're watching is, was this a liquidity grab? Is price going to now continue to the downside? In this case, it has not. It has actually stopped right here. So the key here is we're watching to see if this is going to flip from being a resistance level to a support level. If this becomes a support level, gas prices are certainly going to go up. Now let's take a look here. Actually, I should never say certainly because there's nothing certain. There's nothing certain in life. Uh, Probabilities are prices could escalate. It could go up. So now let's take a look at this. Where did price go? It came up and stopped right here. Why did it stop right there? Well, if we put a line here at the lowest point when price came down from its peaks over here, this is where it found support, right? And then here it broke that support. So then this became resistance. So price started to move down. So what's happening here is price consolidated for quite a while, pushed up, and now what we have hit the resistance. Just like I said earlier, this becomes a resistance level. And now we're watching to see if it's going to turn this into support. Now, if it does turn this into support, what am I looking at? Because now price is going to use this line to start moving to the upside. And how high could it go? What would be the next level? The next logical thing would be I'd be looking at this area right here. And why am I looking at this area is because I see an imbalance. So naturally in trading, the trader is always looking for any kind of an imbalance because price needs to balance. It needs to rebalance itself. So if price were to come up into this area here, it would be rebalancing this area. Now, this will act as a support and resistance area. If it hits this and treats it as resistance and then begins to pull back, well, that would be a good thing for oil prices. But what could happen is this could actually get flipped into support. If you see this turn into support, so now we're talking $187 per barrel, and you see prices holding here, we could escalate more to the upside. And how high could it go? So using the charts here, putting a tool that would basically measure the the distance. And so I'm just going to use the Fibonacci here. I have my own formula that I like to use. Um, what I would do is I'm not even going to take this into consideration at the moment. I'm just going to go ahead and take it from this resistance line. So assuming we claim that as support and just move that up to the middle of the next resistance line. That gives me a probability that price could reach $293 to $322. And at first I was like, wow, is that really possible? Because I mean, we've never been that high before. And I thought, because of inflation, I think that's very possible. So we kind of topped out here around $243 per barrel of oil back in 2008. So if we escalate, if things do get a little out of control, this is where the charts are saying price could go. So would that cause panic at the pumps? Would gas prices be getting outrageous? With the economic condition of things, this could really, really hurt things. So, you know, I don't know what to tell you as far as prepping for things like this because none of this is financial advice. This is just someone who reads charts, and I have the foresight here to tell you where price could go. So, what you decide to do with this information is purely up to you. I want to stress this is not financial advice. Anything could change at any time. Um, I'm not certified to be a financial advisor. This is just a skill that I have. Over many years, I have acquired a good skill of being able to read the charts, and this is what I am seeing. So take what you want from this information, and I hope it helps. I'll see you in the next video.